and you don't want to do anything. But remember that everyone makes mistakes, and now you will see it for yourself. Steering a ship is difficult, but neither is steering a crane, especially if it's the ship that has to be lifted. The cable was not strong enough for such a heavy load and snapped at one point. As you can see, that's what happened. The Spanish bulk carrier's engine had failed. The ship was thrown against the rocks by strong waves. After a while, the ship broke in half. Fortunately, no one was injured. A helicopter was used to rescue the crew. Containers normally carry valuable cargo, but the skipper of a container ship made a mistake, and the cargo ended up in the water. In such a situation, the shipping company suffers a huge loss. We all know about domino effect, but I have never thought that the same principle works on trucks. But as you can see, it is possible. I think the captain of this boat has never played Tetris. Otherwise, he would have known better about shapes and sizes. To cope with the fear of flying on a plane or sailing on a ship, some people consume alcohol. Sometimes it really helps, but only if you're a passenger. But these pictures show what happens when the captain himself drinks. It happened in the Korean city of Busan. The ship was being steered by the Russian captain who, as it turned out later, was drunk. Don't think that if you're not the captain, but just a loader, you can relax. Eggs are certainly cheaper than a ship, but you have to be careful with them too. And these guys have a much more serious problem than broken balls. There was a real fire in the interior of the car. Luckily, a fire extinguisher was on hand and the fire was quickly extinguished, but it's clearly not a good day at work. I get you, guy. I have such days when everything falls apart too. What about you? A girl watching from another car can't hold back her emotions, and really, the faint of heart shouldn't watch.
No! No! You're an idiot! Oh my God!
Fruits are not eggs. It will not be broken, but it will take a long time to collect them. That driver drove the cans and hasn't delivered. I wonder if he even noticed that they've fallen out. The head of the hammer suddenly flew off, hitting the bonnet of the car. Well, at least it didn't hit anybody's head. I'll take that as luck. It is obvious that this rubbish truck is not driven by the most careful driver in the world. The minimum wage of a rubbish truck driver in America is $40,000. Can he work a little more carefully for this money, doesn't he? This driver is faced with an incredibly difficult task. There is no way to transport these huge stone blocks. The Japanese container ship, one Apus, lost 1,816 shipping containers when it was caught in a violent storm in the Pacific Ocean on November 30th, 2020. In the history of shipping, more cargo has only been lost once. Despite the fact that every truck driver should be aware of his size, sometimes such awkward situations happen. Well, he slightly underestimated the size of the body. Just look at the amount of logs this vessel carries. There must be half a forest in here. And in an instant, they all end up in the water. It's a good thing the wood doesn't sink, but the water spoils it. A guy was riding a water scooter and lost control. He collided with a ship and went underwater. Luckily, he's okay, but I hope he's not riding a normal motorbike, because if he couldn't make out with the ship at sea, what's going to happen to him on the road? Just as many drivers have trouble parking, captains don't always manage to dock. Only when it happens not with a car, but with a cruise liner. The devastation is much greater. And in these shots, a huge ship rammed a sailboat. But fortunately, the speed was not too high, so no one was hurt. The sailboat was rotated and the sail itself was torn, but in this collision, things could have ended much worse. One forklift tried to launch with the help of the other two, but it turned out to be a bad idea.